Hello and welcome to my tiny tarot practice. I'm Amelia Fruby, and on this show, we journey through the tarot card by card, starting with the minor arcana, and now in this fifth and final season, exploring the major. This season is presented by Tarot for Creative Spirits by Cecily Saylor, and in the show notes, you'll find an exclusive discount code to purchase your copy of this amazing workbook. Today's card is the Wheel of Fortune. In the Rider-Waite-Smith edition of the tarot, this card is rich with symbology. One of the few cards that doesn't focus on a human figure, at the center of the card, we see a wheel covered in esoteric symbols. At the top of the wheel sits a blue sphinx holding a sword. To the right, an Anubis or a jackal with human form. To the left, a snake. This wheel and these creatures are in the sky with clouds in the background. And at the four corners of the card, we see an angel, an eagle, a lion, and a bull. They're all winged and holding books. Common themes for the Wheel of Fortune are change and cycles. And to me, this card is always imbued with surrender. The Wheel of Fortune is a card that reminds us that we don't have control or power over the universe. I think that at its core, the Wheel of Fortune is a reminder that anything can happen. And that while much is in our control in our lives, while we can take these journeys through our inner and outer worlds, so much is not within our power. I like how Jessa Crispin puts it in The Creative Tarot, where she says, the Wheel of Fortune is about fate, about the things we cannot control, and about luck, both good and bad. It is where our free will ends. And I think that it's a really interesting card coming after the Chariot, which is the card of expressing our willpower out in the world, and Strength, which is the card of directing our strength and power within to uncover new things about ourselves. The Hermit as a card of guiding ourselves toward our unique path. We have all of these cards about our abilities and our strengths and our will. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune reminding us that even amidst all of that empowerment, we are not all powerful. And I think that this is an important moment of humbling on the journey through the major arcana, on the fool's journey that we are taking through these cards. It's a reminder of the randomness of the universe or the divine hand of any God that you may believe in. It's the insistence that no matter how much work we do as individuals or a collective, so many things will still be out of our control. In this era of climate change, I often see the Wheel of Fortune at work in the world in extreme weather events, because there's nothing that we can do to change the weather. There's nothing that we can do to bring rain when it won't fall or to stop a tornado or hurricane in its tracks. These are acts of God, as they put it in our legal structures, or the randomness of the universe as we might think of it. But either way, they're reminders that our fate perhaps is not in our own hands. And I feel like the way I've described this so far may feel disempowering, like there is nothing we can do. And I don't think that this card has that sense of pessimism or fatalism in it. I don't think that this is a nihilistic card at all. Just because we are not all powerful doesn't mean we're not powerful. There is so much that we can do, and I believe through the tarot are called to do to shape our own lives. But we have to remember that we are not the only forces shaping our lives. And that's why at the very beginning I said that I think one of the major themes of this card is surrender. Because sometimes when we are working so hard, when we are willing something into existence through inner work or outer work, we actually need to let go. We need to surrender, and we need to look to the Wheel of Fortune to see what arrives. And so I love that in Tarot for Creative Spirits, when Cecily Saylor considers this card, she asks us, how do we want to relate to change? Do we want to be grasping tightly to the edge of the wheel, or would we rather move to the peaceful center? So when this card arrives in a reading, I think it's an invitation to consider where we may be holding too tightly to control, and what parts of our lives or situations or selves may we need to surrender. Our idea that we can have power over something or control something. Where can we leave it up to the Wheel of Fortune? Or where has the Wheel of Fortune already intervened? If you look around in your life, where have you received gifts or challenges that were wholly out of your control and beyond you? These are the moments of the Wheel of Fortune, the times when we experience the unseen and unknown forces shaping our lives, our work, and our destiny. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of My Tiny Tarot Practice. This season is presented by Tarot for Creative Spirits by Cecily Saylor, and I hope that you'll head to the show notes to get our exclusive discount card and purchase a copy of the book. For now, I invite you to embrace the winds of change, whether they be a gentle caress or an all-encompassing whirlwind in your life. With this card, all we can do is surrender.